Welcome back to Akira's Nightmares. Tonight we walk the halls of a place that should have been safe. Lockers, bells, cafeteria, chatter. But safety is a story we tell ourselves until it ends. Like, subscribe, and stay with me to the last line. This one does not end where you think. The morning begins with yawns and half-done homework. The sky is still cold outside, a thin mist hugging the football field. Inside, heaters hum. The hallways feel warm, too warm. Teachers hold coffee cups, like anchors. Students shuffle past posters for Spirit Week and a blood drive faded to pink by the sun. Marcus arrives early, always early, backpack heavy with notebooks and an old laptop. He nods at the security guard who coughs into a sleeve and waves him through. Alondra jogs across the courtyard, soccer bag bouncing against her hip, a bright ribbon tied to the zipper. Derek slides in through the side door, sleeves pushed up, pulling a grin that would usually mean trouble, but today it looks borrowed and thin. Mr. Ramirez stands at his door, a history textbook tucked under one arm, reading each student by name like a ritual he refuses to break. Second period rolls in. A girl runs past the classroom window, one hand on her stomach, the other on the wall. No one pays attention. People always run in high school, late, in love, and trouble. Third period starts. A coughing fit breaks out in the room next door. Chair scrapes too hard, too loud. Someone mutters that the flu is going around. Someone else says it is not the flu. The teacher says phones away. Work on the warm-up. Head down. Quiet. Then the fire alarm chirps once. Not a full scream, just a glitch, and the room laughs. Because glitches are funny when the day feels heavy. The glitch becomes a siren. The siren becomes a command. Everyone up, single file. Do. Not run. They step into the hallway, and the warmth turns into heat. The air smells metallic. The nurse's door is open. A shoe lies face down by the office. Lace still tied. No foot inside. A girl from the next hall comes around the corner. Jaw slack, eyes milky, shirt stained. She walks into a locker and keeps walking, shoulder grinding metal, until she turns. She looks past them first, then at them. Her mouth opens. Not a scream. A ragged pull of air that sounds like something learning to breathe. Again, Mr. Ramirez moves first. Back inside. Now, he puts a hand on the door, and that is when the boy across the hall hits the ground like the strings got cut. No stumble. No warning. A drop. People start running. The line breaks. Phones come out. Someone laughs the way people laugh when they are about to cry. The girl in the bloody shirt moves faster than a body should move. Her head tilts. Her shoulders roll. She is not looking for help. She is looking for heat and sound and living. She finds it and she pounces. The hallway becomes a tide. Everyone is a wave trying to crash in a different direction. The bell keeps ringing under the siren. A small sanity swallowed by a bigger noise. Mr. Ramirez shoves his door open and pulls them in. Marcus gets a hand on the frame and yanks Alondra after him. Derek slips on paper and tries to pretend he meant to. He is shaking. He is always joking. He is not joking now. The door slams. The glass rattles. Fists hit it from the outside, some human, some not. Inside the room, 20 hearts pound like a single animal. Silence never comes back. It just changes shape. Asterisk, Mr. Ramirez is not big, but his voice is made for rooms like this. He points. Desk. There. We build a barricade. They move fast because moving feels like surviving. Marcus drags a table with a squeal of metal that makes his teeth ache. Alondra empties a bookshelf one arm sweep at a time. Derek pulls the shades, then pulls them again, then stops because his hands are shaking too hard to tie the cord. Outside, the siren is a distant animal, closer than the sky, farther than their fear. The banging on the door stops. Silence presses against the window. Marcus hates that more than the banging. There are 20 people in a room meant for 30. Backpacks like sandbags. Breath like steam. Phones light their faces in blue dot. No service. Service for 1 second. Gone again. A text goes through. A text. Does not. Someone tries the intercom. The intercom coughs and dies. A girl in the back sobs without sound. Her shoulders shake. Her eyes are dry. Her tears went somewhere else. Mr. Ramirez speaks like he is handling glass. We are going to move. We will go together. The nurse's station has a radio. The gym has exits. We stay low. We do not stop. If someone falls, you help them if it is safe. If it is not safe, you keep moving because stopping will kill all of us. It is a cruel thing to say, and it is the only thing to say. He picks up a fire extinguisher, checks the gauge like a habit he learned a long time ago. He nods at Marcus. You watch. You open. You close. Marcus breathes in, out. He hears his own breath louder than the siren. Alondra tightens the strap on her soccer bag and slides out a shin guard. She breaks the plastic against the corner of a desk, and now it is a jagged thing. She wraps it with tape from the teacher's drawer. Her hands do not shake. Derek stuffs his pockets with markers and a roll of duct tape. He almost makes a joke about medieval armor and art supplies. Almost. Mr. Ramirez counts down. 3, 2, 1. The door opens into a hallway that does not look like a hallway anymore. It looks like a throat. They move, low, tight, quiet. A boy is slumped against a locker, eyes open, mouth wet. His chest rises like a tide with no moon. He twitches. He is not gone enough to leave. He is not here enough to help. They keep moving. A teacher from the science wing staggers into view, coat ripped, neck marked with teeth. He sees them. He does not know them. He opens his mouth and a sound comes out that is half human, half something else. He takes 2 steps. He falls. The second fall is worse than the first because it sounds like the end of a story he worked hard to write. The nurse's door is open. The floor inside is slick. They do not go in. The courtyard doors are chained. They always are. The sign says it is for safety. The chain says otherwise. They pivot to the gym. Wide doors. Bright lights. Lines on the floor that make sense, even. When the world does not. They reach the double doors. Mr. Ramirez pushes. The doors swing. Air rushes over them. It smells like rubber dust and something sweet gone bad. They step inside the gym, and the echoes step with them. Quiet is a lie. The gym proves it. Asterisk, the gym is still lit. The scoreboard blinks 12 to 12, like a joke no one gets. A whistle lies near half court. A sneaker is turned on its side. the laces outstretched like fingers. They close the doors and slide the heavy bolt. It feels good to lock something. It feels like luck. They know it is neither Dot. They move along the bleachers, stepping over water bottles and a dropped pom-pom with the wire sticking out. A banner from 3 years ago hangs crooked, champions caught in a frozen smile. The first sound is a clink. No one looks up for clinks. Clinks are pipes and metal, and the world doing what it does when you are busy. The second sound is a scrape, high and light, like someone dragging an empty duffel across aluminum. Marcus looks up. He has always looked up when others look down. Something is in the rafters. It moves wrong. Too flat, then too sudden, like a film with missing frames. It hugs the metal and then drops. Not all the way. Just enough to show its face, which is not a face anymore, just white eyes and a mouth pulled wide by something stronger than muscle. The screamer hangs like a spider that never learned to spin. It inhales and the room tightens around that breath. When it lets the sound out, it feels like the ceiling is peeling back. Students cover ears. Hands do not help. The sound is not for ears. It is for bones. Alondra moves without asking. She runs for the cart of basketballs, flips it, and sends balls. Rolling. They thump like hearts across the floor. Noise, distraction. Chaos, the screamer. Can hear that is not them. Mr. Ramirez drags the fire extinguisher pin free with a ring. He points it up. The white fog blasts the rafters and the figure in the metal. Stutters. It drops a foot. It shrieks. It dives. It hits Derek. They go down in a tangle of arms and a sound like gravel in a blender. Derek shouts. His voice cracks, then breaks, then keeps going because he is not done yet. Marcus rams his backpack into the creature. The zipper breaks. Notebooks explode like birds. Alondra slams the taped shin guard into the screamer's throat. It bites. Air. Air bites back. Mr. Ramirez hits the thing across the jaw with the extinguisher, and something gives. The screamer's sound cuts. The silence feels broken. Their hearing returns like a tide. Derek rolls. His forearm is ripped open, a long, ragged scrape that looks like it came from wire and hunger. Blood runs down his hand and patters onto the court. Alondra tears her jersey at the hem and wraps his arm tight. Derek says he is fine. He is never fine, and he is always fine. He is not fine. Mr. Ramirez checks the doors to the back lot. Locked, bolted with a chain that is new. A sign says do not use except for emergencies. He reads it and laughs once without humor. The screamer twitches. It is not dead. It is dying, and that is not the same thing. They move toward the far exit, the one that leads to the courtyard. The one that might lead anywhere better than this. They do not look back. They do not need to. They can feel the rafters watching them go. Asterisk, asterisk. They cut through the side hall toward the locker rooms and bathrooms because the main corridor is a river and this is a creek. Creeks can still drown you, but at least they are quieter. The bathroom door bangs once in the breeze, a flicker of light on tile. Someone left the hand dryers running. The roar is steady, a white noise that masks everything dangerous and everything human. They slip inside because Derek needs water, and the jersey tourniquet is already soaking through. The mirror over the sinks is cracked. It turns one person into 5 broken ones. It looks honest. Alondra runs the tap over Derek's arm. He hisses and says he is good. He is never good, and he is always good. He is worse. Mr. Ramirez checks. The stalls, doors open, nothing. Door closed. He taps with the extinguisher. Nothing. He opens. A mop, a bucket, a smell that is strong enough to fight this day and lose. Marcus stands at the entrance, listening. The hand dryers drown the small sounds and amplify the big ones. He can hear footsteps when there should not be any. He can hear the building talk, vents and beams and old air. He also hears a soft tapping, like fingernails spelling out a message in a language that does not care if you learn it. Figure slides into the space of the far stall door, hands first. They are torn and gray. They grip the tile like it is something that can be eaten. Marcus points. No words, just a point. The hands stop. They retreat. The stall door shudders. Something climbs. Alondra pulls Derek toward the exit. Mr. Ramirez herds them with his body. Bigger now because fear makes people bigger or smaller, and he refuses to shrink. From the vent above the sinks, a second creature pours itself through the grate. Its shoulders pop. Its spine bends. It drops onto the counter and slides cups into the sinks. It is not a screamer. It is a watcher, quiet, patient. Close. It tilts its head. It does not rush. It does not need to. Mr. Ramirez fires the extinguisher again, but the fog swirls and hits. The hand dryers and becomes a storm of white wind. The watcher blinks slow and steps forward. Alondra kicks the dryer off with a heel. The sound dies. The silence cracks. The watcher lunges. They stumble through the door and slam it. The metal frame shivers. Something hits from the other side. Again. They run. They do not talk about what they are becoming. They do not have room for that kind of conversation. The library is a block ahead. Glass walls, a place for quiet. A place where quiet went to die. Asterisk, the library lights are off, but the computers glow like eyes half closed. Chairs are flipped. Tables are turned. Someone tried to make a fort and did not. Finish. Books lie open, words spilled and meaningless. They slip in through the side door and ease it shut. The lock clicks with a small sound that feels like a gift. Gifts are traps that wear perfume. Marcus moves between stacks, looking for the old office radio that the librarian kept for emergencies that were supposed to be boring, like earthquakes and power outages. Not this. He finds the office. He finds the radio. He finds batteries that still have teeth. Static. A voice. More static. Words come through like bats, quick and hard to catch. Stay inside. Help is. Do not. Repeat. Do not. Alondra leans Derek against a shelf and rewraps his arm with a strip torn from a curtain. His skin is colder than it should be. His eyes are glassy in a way that screens make them not fever. She asks him a simple question. What is your little sister's name? He answers. He gets it right. Then he gets it wrong. Then he says her name again, slower, like it is a password he forgot. Mr. Ramirez stands where he can see the door and the office and the two of them. He keeps counting in his head, an attendance he cannot shake, a ritual that counts the living. As long as it can, they hear a scuff, not at the door. Inside, between shelves, A shadow moves, then another. Shapes that seem wrong because they are sitting, not standing, because they are bent over tables with hands and piles of paper. Like raccoons and trash dot, the infected here are not roaming. They are sifting. They turn pages. They do not read. There. Fingers smear ink and blood together. They make art that nobody asked for. One looks up. It has a stapler stuck to its palm. It flexes. The stapler clicks. Mr. Ramirez gestures low, a baseball coach telling a runner to steal. They inch toward the back door that opens to the maintenance hall. The static on the radio flares like a flare. Heads turn toward the sound. Faces lift in a slow wave. Marcus kills the radio. Silence returns. It is thinner than before, like there is less of it left to use. They reach the back door. It sticks. Paint holds it closed like a memory. Marcus puts his shoulder into it. It gives. They spill into a hall that smells like bleach and dust and old paint. Behind them, the infected in the library stop turning pages. They stand. They turn. They follow. Asterisk, the maintenance hall dumps them near the cafeteria, which opens into the courtyard. The doors to the courtyard are already propped. Someone went through and did not come back to close them. Outside, the sun has climbed. It warms their faces and makes everything crueler, because horror loves light when it wants to be believed. The courtyard is not empty, but it is quiet. Scattered bodies twitch. A faculty lanyard lies in a puddle of juice that looks like blood at first glance and Kool-Aid at the second. A trumpet case is open, the instrument missing, a mouthpiece rolling, 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 and then settling. They see the chain link gate. Beyond it, the parking lot. Beyond that, the street. Beyond that, the town. Mr. Ramirez looks at Marcus. You and me, we move first. We clear a path. Alondra stays with Derek. We signal. We go. They move. Every step is a win. Every breath is a coin you are not sure you can afford. At the gate, the chain hangs open. The lock is broken in a way that looks like teeth did it. It is open. It is an invitation. Invitations are for hosts. They look left. They look right. Not clear, not safe, but empty enough. They wave. Alondra hoists Derek. He stumbles. He whispers that he is fine. He is not fine. He is heavy with something that is not sleep. They cross the courtyard slow and steady. Derek's feet catch on concrete. He mutters jokes without punchlines. He breathes shallow, and then deep, and then not at all for a second too long. Marcus pulls the gate wide. The hinge squeals like a small animal. He hates it. He cannot stop it. They step into the parking lot. Cars are crooked. Doors are open. Windows are smashed. A police cruiser sits at an angle with its lights dead. A megaphone lies beside it, battery pack split open like a broken egg. For a heartbeat, hope becomes a real thing, not a story. A shape you can hold. It is bright. It is ugly. It is alive. Mr. Ramirez says to the street, the main road. We head for the fire station. They will have radios. They will have people. They start across the asphalt. Halfway to the far curb, Derek falters. He coughs a dry cough that brings nothing up. He looks at Alondra with eyes that have lost their color. He squeezes her arm and she squeezes back, and neither of them says goodbye because words are expensive. Stops. He sways. He turns. He does not turn toward the street. He turns toward them. Marcus steps in front of Alondra without meaning to. Instinct, not courage. Mr. Ramirez lifts the extinguisher. His hands are steady. His eyes are not. Derek whispers, "I am good." And then his mouth opens and a sound like the library stapler comes out, metallic and soft and not human. He moves. Alondra says his name. She does not say it like a question. She says it like a command. "It does not matter." He lunges. Asterisk. They collide in a tangle of arms and pain and history. Alondra slams her forearm into Derek's chest. Marcus grabs his shoulder and feels muscle that is too hard, like it has been fired in a kill. Mr. Ramirez does not aim for the head. He aims for the moment. He hits the moment. The extinguisher crunches. Derek drops. He is not gone. He is not here. He moves again. Everything moves again. At the edge of the lot, near the street. A line of figures stands. They are still. Their heads tilt like owls. They do not charge. They watch Dot behind them. More step from between cars and out from under trucks, and from inside the band van, with the sliding door hanging open. They do not make sound. They do not need to. The lot is a bowl, and sound falls out of it. Mr. Ramirez backs them toward the curb, toward the street, toward the idea of safety. Marcus keeps one hand on Alondra and one hand on the extinguisher when Ramirez passes it. His arms feel like borrowed machines. An infected man in a Letterman jacket steps forward. He wears a medal. He wears a bite. He smiles a smile that never reaches his eyes. He raises a hand and the horde holds. He lowers it and the horde takes. One step, not two. One. They are not wild. Not here. Not now. They are hurting. Alondra realizes it first. They are not blocking the street. They are guiding, not letting them flee into town. Not pushing them back to school, guiding them to the one place where the lot dips, where the storm drain grates are broken, where the dark under the asphalt breathes. She looks at the drain and sees movement under the slats, hands, faces, turned sideways. Waiting. Mr. Ramirez sees it too. He understands why the gate hung open like an invitation. He understands what an ambush looks like when it is built by something that learns. He whispers to Marcus, "On my count, left to the cruiser. We make noise. We make them look. We go right. We run." Marcus nods. Alondra nods. Derek groans, and that is a nod in another language. Ramirez throws a rock. It hits the cruiser windshield with a sharp crack. Heads turn. Not enough. Marcus slams the extinguisher against a car alarm sensor. The horn bursts alive. A wave of red light flashes. Heads turn. Enough. They sprint right, not to the street, but to the ramp that drops to the loading dock, to the back road. That runs behind the theater. They clear 10 yards. 15, 20. From the storm drain. The first pail crawls out. Thin, fast, silent. It runs like it was born for running in the dark. It reaches the ramp first. It cuts them off with a movement that is almost gentle. Behind them. The line of infected closes like a zipper. The lot becomes a throat again. It swallows. Asterisk. They stop because there is nowhere to go. The infected make a half circle that tightens by half steps. The pail watches with eyes that never blink. The letterman raises his hand and the world waits. Mr. Ramirez steps forward. He keeps his voice even. He talks like a teacher, because that is what he is. And he will be that until he cannot be anything. I know you can hear me. I know some part of you is still there. Let them go. Take me. The pail tilts its head. It does not nod. It does not shake. It steps aside. A path opens that is not a path. It leads to the storm drain. Down, not out. Marcus grips the extinguisher. His hands ache. He looks at Alondra. Her eyes are not glass. They are fire. She shakes her head once. No. Derek breathes a wet breath and tries to laugh. The laugh breaks and becomes a cough and becomes a growl and becomes nothing. That Mr. Ramirez counts in his head. Marcus. Here, Alondra. Here, Derek. Here. He says the names before he cannot. He leans into Marcus and whispers, "When I move, you take. Her, you go for the fence by the field. You climb. You do not look back." Marcus holds his gaze. No. Ramirez smiles, a small thing that holds more years than this day deserves. It was never a choice, he says. He charges the pail with the extinguisher. Raised, the pail steps aside and lets him pass. Not mocking, just studying. The letterman lowers his hand. The circle closes. Marcus grabs Alondra's wrist and pulls. They hit the fence at a run. He boosts her. She climbs like a ladder is under her and the ground is on fire. She reaches the top. She swings a leg. She looks back because she is human, and looking back is what humans do. The pail moves. It is not a blur. It is a decision. It reaches the fence and climbs without touching the links, fingers and holes that are not there. It crests the top with her. They balance like gymnasts on a thin line. It leans in. It listens to her breath. It does not bite. It does not shove. It looks down. The lot has filled, more infected than before. Faces from the hall, from the library, from the gym, from a life that had bells and tardy slips. Mr. Ramirez stands at the edge of the storm drain. He is surrounded. He is not touched. He understands, and the understanding breaks him in a quiet way. They are not hungry. Not now. They are collecting. The pail turns its head to Marcus. It looks at the extinguisher in his hands. It looks at the way he holds it, wrong and right at the same time. It looks at his shoes, worn at the sides, taped at the toe. It looks at his eyes. It blinks once. Then it hooks a finger under the fence top rail and pulls. Metal screams. The panel bends. Alondra loses her balance. She jumps because falling is worse than jumping. She drops to the field side. She lands hard and rolls and comes. Up with dirt in her teeth and rage in her chest. Marcus is on the lot side. The pail drops back into his world, not hers. A border reappears. A line someone else drew. Alondra grabs the fence and shakes it like she can undo physics with her hands. The metal sings. The horde answers with silence. Mr. Ramirez meets Marcus's eyes. He shakes his head. Do not be a hero. Be alive. The pail steps between them and the drain. It raises its hand the way the letterman did. The horde parts. It points at Marcus. It points at the drain. It is not a request. Marcus looks at Alondra. She looks at him. They have 100 words. They use none. They use one. Go, she mouths. He does not nod. He does not shake his head. He breathes. He steps. The drained mouth smells like things that have never seen the sun. He hesitates. The pail waits. Waiting is a weapon. Something touches his shoulder. It is not a hand. It is the cold of a choice already made for you. He looks back one last time. Alondra has her fingers hooked in the fence until the nails go white. Her mouth is open, and no sound comes out. Sound would make it real. Silence makes it worse. Mr. Ramirez goes first. He lowers himself into the dark like a man stepping into a river. He does not fight. He does not plead. He teaches. He says to whoever is listening, you do not win by being brave. You win by being left. He disappears. Marcus follows. He thinks of the heaters in the morning, the mist on the field, the security guard's cough, small things that mean nothing until they mean everything. He drops. The pail looks up at Alondra on the other side of the fence. It does not cross. It does not need to. It has done its job. The letterman signals. The gate swings closed without hands. The line collapses into a mass that flows into the dark, a river of feet and teeth and quiet. Alondra stands alone on the field with a torn jersey, strip in her hands and blood that is not hers on her wrists. The school bell rings once, glitched, broken, brave. It dies. UTRO channel tag. Hope opened the gate. Hope showed them the street. Hope promised light. The truth lived under the asphalt. This was a high school outbreak. A tale from Akira's nightmares. If this story got under your skin, like and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next one. Sleep if you can. The halls are quiet now. The quiet is not for you. Asterisk.